Then everything feels right. I need you.
WEFM 99.9 is on now.
Time here in SVG, it is 8:15, and we are back with you for another commentary segment here on studio. It's Dianna, Cain, and Mr. Samuel. Yes, it's just us for now. So I noticed at the end of that last segment, there were several persons trying to call, so we can have a continuation of that. For those of you who wish to air your thoughts or maybe a point of clarification, correction, whatever it might be, you can go right ahead and call us at 457-9997. All right, so the phone lines are open for you to call. All right, hello and good morning.
Good morning, Dianna.
Good morning.
Yes, and you as a panelist. Well, I understand that now, like we said, this is one better keeper and everything, and resist from violence. Now, the Labour Party went and opened some jails somehow, and kill somebody, and people, so we're saying that Mr. NDP, if you're feeling a political strain, if you're feeling political strain already, try to conduct yourself, because you usually want to run in front. Usually want that people are they wish, they will to support whoever party they want to support. And if people reject you, you have to admit that out of your intention. We have a government to everybody. The government can help this one, I help that one, and I help the next one, I help everybody. And that we government doing. From ever since the government doing that. And if you got put the government in office to help people, and the government try to do it best, not try to stone them down and put up pictures in West Kingston and put the Prime Minister face and who put the best stone, better price. They're practicing crime. And when they don't come parade and talk about crime and this and that and government, this and government that do crime. You're practicing crime, and who knows if not you, if not all the parties that setting up all this crime happening. So you live in people's speculate. So I just want to tell you, resist some your foolishness and try to understand how you want Vincent and let us not hurt one another. Because you can't watch a party like this not doing so well and tell yourself that you go get inside power again. Everything you condemn is the government doing to help poor people.
All right, okay,
from April to WAF and
all right,
housing and all kind of things.
So step in.
That you condemn.
Step in. So both supporters of both parties, you're asking that they respect each other, right?
Exactly, my talented lady.
All right,
exactly.
Stephen. All right, thanks for the contribution. Have a good one today, okay?
You too.
Yeah. All righty. All right, let's say this other call. Hi, caller. Good morning.
Good rising, ladies. Good rising. I have a solution here to make from Jerry George. Jerry George used to talk about the same money business with the bank. But let's say rest in peace. He give us a suggestion. He don't tell us to do that. He say we have to do like with the generation years gone by used to do when you didn't have no bank. We go and dig hole and bury money. That's a suggestion he give us.
You really think that we should do that? No. And Haiti suspect places, right? Dig a hole, put the money in there, put it under your mattress, put it under this and put it under that. People know where to find money, so no, all right? We ain't telling people that anymore.
You You have to go in the mountain. You have to mountain. People now watch and do that. But here's something. I experienced a time that traveling. I was traveling and then I didn't want to go with no EC dollars, so I have pure US. So I have something to buy. I say I go in on one of those bank and change at 20 US and just let it give back the US in US and get a little $10 to buy where I have to buy 20 EC dollars. They tell me no. If I have to change the US, I have to get pure EC. So I say no, it can't happen like that because if I come there to change money, you give me EC if I want all the EC. But if I want some in US and want some in EC, they tell me no, that can't work. So the bank is just there to make money. You understand? But let me call you up and Stepping was just saying there. Stepping is saying, I mean, no party whether Alpha, Dr. Guns.
Right.
I
hear you say Ralph and Lorraine.
Yeah, I know why I wouldn't call him that. I know why I wouldn't call him. You wouldn't get to call him honorable or doctor or nothing.
But you could say.
Come on.
No. Hey, the point that I'm making, right?
Yeah, so long to clear.
All right. I say honorable because, and I'm listening to you, because of the fact that you said Dr. Friday, and you are speaking about leaders of two parties, and one of them being the Prime Minister, you could say the same, show the same respect for Dr. Gonsalves.
And just saying people pelting stone and so on and so forth, and talking about if you want to win party. NDP wouldn't send nobody to do that. But let me tell Step in, a couple of years, they do that. Inside here, like, people used to say, Ralph, send them up Stone, which nobody never send nobody up Stone. So Step in must remember them thing. Nobody from NDP and nobody from ULP would send nobody up Stone. That's just my contribution, you know. So you must say that them things.
So thank you. All righty. Okay, so I think we may have exhausted. Okay, so we see you have another caller.
It's okay. Hello?
Hey Dianna, you just me again, man. Let me for everything. I say if I something to their own fellow man. Why did they find that? That's what I wanted to understand. And when the bank on them, but like bank alone, you hope that statement too. All them people that telling and doing all kind of thing. If you go and put a question for something, then you put on $5. So because money running in the country, everybody just want to get big and rich overnight. They take an opportunity to get to pay the second. They just get wise and tattoo. They just over wise and tattoo money printer. And for other tablets in the hospital, the tablets in the hospital, they question over that. But everybody, they're just going crazy over money. All right.
All right. Stepping some money running in the country, you love. All right. Okay. All right. Anything else you wanted to add with the banking topic?
Nah.
Okay. All right. So let me just backtrack a little bit to the first topic that we started with, and which was making it mandatory for children, students who are leaving schools, leaving with a skill. All right. And as I said, mandatory in the same vein as we say that students have to do compulsory subjects such as math and English. that, in my opinion, and I think it's the opinion of other persons as well, that this should also leave with a skill. One of my challenges within, well, the way with some persons view it, when you enter Form 1, well, I don't know what happened in your time, but when I entered Form 1, we had subjects such as music, I think it's arts and craft, needlework. Well, in Form 2, we had sewing, where you actually did sewing on the sewing machine. Those subjects were compulsory. All students were exposed to it. And then in Form 3, we did food and nutrition, right? And I know that there are some parents who are of the opinion that these are waste of time subjects, right? They say with regards to the curriculum that, especially when they're in lower school, because you don't get to choose. I don't know how it is exactly now, but well, in certain schools, I shouldn't say in all schools, but in certain schools where at the time that I went, it was mandatory that we did all of these subjects, right? And some parents and even some children were of the view that these were waste of time subjects. Oh, we also did arts. Waste of time subjects, and that the curriculum could have been better utilized by doing other subjects, right? Other more academically inclined subjects. And it's interesting that even to today, that opinion still holds, because even recently I had a conversation with some friends of mine, and a friend of mine, her son wasn't doing too well in music or something or the other. And she thought that it was kind of like a waste of time subject, right? Mm-hmm. And then I came back and I said that what we also need to appreciate is that there are some students who, unless they are exposed to them in the school system, many of them are not going to be given that opportunity to know how to draw or how to do, let's say, embroidery by hand. There are many subjects, there are many disciplines that students are not going to know about unless they are in the school system. Because let's say if you have a parent who isn't sending you, case in point, vacation programs are what we don't hate call summer, but y'all know I don't like to use the word summer when it comes to the Caribbean, right? So vacation, July, August programs, where some parents would prefer to, and I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with this, but they might prefer to send their child, let's say, to a STEM program, as opposed to a program put on, let's say, by the arts, is YOLO Arts Center, right? And the thing of it is that there's nothing wrong with either of those. But let's say if a parent does prioritize STEM over art, visual arts, then that child is never going to have that exposure. And I think one of the things is that in a way, you have to expose children at a very early age to certain things to know where it is that they might be inclined. And I use myself here as an example, where yes, we have machines that are doing, in my case, embroidery. But when the machine fails to do what it's supposed to do, the skills that I learned from hand embroidery back in Form 1 is what chips in to help me know what it is that I need to do in terms of being able to put off a properly finished product. So I'm so concerned about the fact that, and I think it was Kojo raised the point on Sunday's Issue at Hand program, where he was talking about in California that students they're involved in a mentorship program of sorts, where whatever training that they're going to, what vocational training that they are going through or they're doing, that they're attached to a particular person who is in that field. So and that person, the mentor, would be looking over, let's say, their grades, giving them advice. So right from the jump, they are exposed to persons who are already in the field, so that they have that, I suppose, in a sense, you have somebody who you can directly relate to, or somebody who you can rely on for advice, etc. And this is why it is that for me, there has to be that push. And I think somebody else on the program, I can't remember who it is who said it, but we're talking about AI and AI taking over so much now that what we are going to be left with is a lot of persons who need to be skilled, right? Because AI can't manually come and lay down tiles. Yes, there might come a time when they're going to create a robot who's going to do it, but there is nothing can beat human precision, right? Because laying down tiles is a skill by itself. It's an art form by itself, So this is why it is for me. And with that whole reliance of academic learning, you have to have something else, or you should have something else to fall back on. The degrees by themselves are not going to be enough.
I think one of the biggest things here is education. People need to have a lot more knowledge when it comes to these things, especially parents. When it comes to the extracurricular activities, I mean, which are some of these skill programs, and even with the skills in school and the example you gave of the music, and so a lot of parents don't really know. A lot of people don't really know the importance of some of these things and the benefits that they have, like music. You might just think, oh, they're just blowing the recorder in school, or they're just doing, and maybe that is the only thing that they're doing, and they probably should do more. But music is very good on your brain, even something as learning a foreign language when you're younger. These things are really good for you, and most of us don't understand the, apart from the entertainment benefits, the other things that it does, being involved in creative work, the sort of impact that it has on your brain. A lot of us don't understand that. We just see it as just art or just entertainment, just something you do for fun. And of course, people don't know. I feel like another thing that has caused this sort of mentality that we have when it comes to skills is seeing a lot of the academic people being highlighted. And when you look around, mostly everybody you see placed in the top is the people with the certificates and the people with the degrees and people with this. So, I finish after Kojo. Hi, Kojo.
Yeah, Diana,
Hello.
there goes the answer just now because you was wondering when did the concept of
Yes.
jobs not
Yes.
which is good jobs and bad jobs.
Mhm.
That's the answer right there.
Yes, it's
Because
true.
trust me, when I was going to school, I knew I was good in art. I couldn't tell them I really want to be an artist. They tell me, no, boy, don't even go that route. If I had followed everybody, I probably wouldn't even practice what I could have done back then. Because that's how I made my money when I was in Vincent. I did my arts. And that's how I make my money. And if I'm gonna have a son or a daughter, the first thing he knocking in our head, I don't want you to come like me.
Yep.
What is it? What is today now you say what is the biggest problem? Because you as a farmer, you have an important job. You feed the nation,
Yep.
and people don't see it that way. They just see because the man in a young dirty pants and probably a tail up shirt or something, and he going up. But out here, when you watch farmers out here, they're dressing up in nice clothes too,
Or they know how to dress properly when it's needed. When the time calls for it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, and dirty job, as people say. One of the most expensive, one of the thing, them garbage man out here, they call them sanitation workers down here, and well, they have plenty. They will just say, them is highly paid people,
Yeah.
out here. That's a sort of job, And people just watch people and laugh after people doing the job in sentence. So I mean, everybody is not going to be doctors and lawyers, and the quicker we learn that thing in our head, it's better for us.
Yeah.
Somebody have to build a house.
I mean, somebody had to build the hospital too, Kojo, even for you to go walk in.
In order for you to be a lawyer, the courthouse has to be built.
Yeah.
Yep.
You ain't building a courthouse unless you're going to go on the street, and even the street now, you have to get somebody to pay. So everything you look for, you have to get somebody to help. I think Barack Obama said that one time when he talked to the Republican, and then when they say, oh, something about some bill, but he said, everything that you have, you got help doing it. No, you didn't get no help. You see, well, the road that you're driving on, somebody had to build that road. But they were so independent in the head that, I achieve everything by myself. And no, he said, no, you cannot. Because everything that you do rely on somebody else doing something in order for you to do that. The street is not going to be clean unless somebody clean it, and people walk around and they watch garbage sanitation workers and scorn them.
Yeah.
But if the sanitation, I can tell you what happened to me. One time I was in Guadeloupe, and people from Dominica normally go over to Guadeloupe work. Just like Beckway and the people in Guadeloupe, those French people, we don't want nobody coming to work. Just like in America here, they come to take our jobs. The chief minister in Guadeloupe, because I don't think that, I can't remember what they have. I think it's like a chief minister, forget them how they got it. And he decided that the boat will not come over for the week. All the garbage start piling up. And they are still now asking him, so why the garbage piling up? He said, well, you say, oh, why the people come here? Well, you do the job. No, that's the lead test. We don't want. Mm-hmm. In the 2 weeks after that, the dead people want to come back. Mm-hmm. So, sometimes we knocking jobs and say we don't want this and we're not going to do this. But if somebody else saying do it, we in trouble.
Mm-hmm. Yep, indeed.
The whole country in trouble. Yeah, so that's how I'm glad I'm really sure come up with that now. So I could call back and you see why jobs are looked upon in a certain way. Mm-hmm. Now you want to be this. You see people who didn't do too well in school, but people don't realize the man who is a carpenter, you have to learn how to read wrong cut, bad cut.
Yeah.
So I mean, you see, education has a level of, should I say levels, or different type of education that some look at it as not educated. A man who built in a house is highly educated.
All right, so we could probably end off with Dianna. You could finish your thoughts.
Where was I?
You were.
I don't remember what the last thing I was saying. The academics, certain academic subjects being highlighted. When people do that type of work, they're highlighted a lot more than those who are doing skills. I think now we are starting maybe the discussions that are being held and other things that are involved. People are starting to go back to it, because if it was there before, they're starting to see it in a different light, because we're talking about TVET a whole lot more now, and embracing skilled people a lot more. So, more of that, more in, and
but do you think it should be compulsory though?
Yeah,
okay.
Definitely.
Okay, yeah.
And children, what I have found is when you're doing activities in schools that involves skills, maybe you make a lesson, but part of your lesson, the children usually enjoy those types of lessons a lot more than sitting on the book thing.
Yeah, it's a way to, you need to find a way to have it integrated, because I remember even with when I was teaching English, it was English language. There were things that I would do. So it wasn't just about sitting down and writing essays or subject verb agreement, but like they would put on little skits, like a poem, like they come up with a poem and they do a skit in relation to it. So even though it was an English class, you saw the drama, you saw other forms of creativity coming out, or they were singing on whatever. There are ways that you can incorporate it, and just in that little vein, you tap into the things that maybe some children didn't even know that they possess, or they would prefer to have those on display, and then, let's say you have them doing singing in English, and then you realize, oh, they could actually go in for calypso, junior calypso monarch, and that type of stuff. Same time, you need to have a change in terms of the mentality of parents, because there are still some parents who look down on these skilled subjects. Changing attitude of some parents. There has to be that into the school system, not afraid taken, because until firsthand, when I'm preaching this morning, first-hand preaching, I want some $10 drop at my foot, right? I even want $5, $10 dropping at my foot. It comes in handy, all right? You could come back with your certificates and your degrees, but you see that your main profession or that profession to bring in extra money. All right, take it from me. And Nicole also mentioned herself in this as well. Take it from us, okay? First-hand information. And Dianna, because Dianna's involved in the creative sector. So, yeah. All right.